Hey friends of YouTube. So quite a while ago I made a video about third culture kids. It got quite a good response and I was stupid enough to accidentally delete the video after it got a lot of views. Anyway, don't ever open YouTube when you just woke up. So I'm gonna make like an episode 2 of third culture kids. Today I want to talk about the struggles of being a third culture kid. So here we go. Changing accents depending on who you're talking to or the group of friends that you're with. So when I'm with my Singaporean friends, I'll be speaking in a Singlish accent. They call it Singlish, like Singapore English. But when I'm here in Australia with my Australian friends, obviously I'll be speaking in this accent, in like my Australian accent. It's just really hard because, especially with my Singlish accent, I hardly ever stay in Singapore. When I do go back, when I start speaking Singlish, it just feels really strange and really weird. Like I've lost my ability to speak Singlish, and like my friends will be like, dude, just stick with your normal accent. Like it sounds more natural. The biggest struggle I've ever had as a third culture kid, right, is the pronunciation of my name. Alright, so just a really quick lowdown on what's going on. My English name, which isn't my official name, is Delvin, right? Delvin Eng. My Chinese name is Hong Yi Hao. If you want to say my Chinese name in like English, like pronunciation, it's Ang Yi Hao. But that's in Singapore, right? In Australia, they'll pronounce Ang, like A-N-G, as Eng. So it's Eng Yi Hao. That's how Australians will say my Chinese name, Eng Yi Hao. Back when I was in primary school or even high school, right? You know you have the class rolls and teachers mark attendance. My name would be at the top of the list because they do it in alphabetical order. Every time the teacher comes in and they mark the roll, they'll be like, Yi Hao? And I'll be like, yeah, that's me. It gets to the point where like, I know they're gonna struggle. I'll just be sitting at my table and I'll be like watching the teacher. They'll be opening the roll book. I'll see them do these ones like, and I'll be like, yep, that's me. The Asian kid. The only Asian kid in your class. One time, it was the funniest thing ever. So normally on the class roll, they'll have your last name first and then your first name. One time a teacher was like she hit me up with this and I didn't even expect it at all. She was like, Ange. When people ask, where are you from? Now that's like the hardest question to answer. Like you mean where I was born, or like, you know, where I just caught the bus from? Like, home. What do you mean? What do you mean? The next thing is food. I like comparing food back to my local Singaporean food, and it's always just not as nice. But every time I eat like Asian food or food that they have in Singapore, every single time I eat it, I'll always compare it back to the local stuff that they have in Singapore. Every time you do eat food from back home in another country, you always tend to want to compare it, and you always go into the meal and you start eating it with that mindset of it's not going to be as good as back home. One struggle that I certainly have is not knowing your mother tongue or your first language. Like, I regret not learning it when I was younger. My mum tried to force me and teach me Mandarin. For me, my first language is Mandarin, right? I just got to the point where I started crying because I didn't want to learn. And now I regret it. I keep using English and I just kind of neglected Mandarin. That's why now I'm not very good at it. When I do go back to Singapore, or you go back to your original country and you want to communicate with your relatives or your grandparents, it's really hard. It's a struggle to communicate with them. When people ask you which is your favorite country or which country would you prefer, don't even ask me that question. Like, why did you just have to put me on the spot? You know, what do I do now? And people will be like, so what's your favorite country? And it's like, I don't know, I can't say, because to third culture kids, each country has their own significance and their own importance in their lives. And like for me, like Singapore is important. I'm from there, I was born there. Like I identify myself as a Singaporean. I look Asian. Spent 2 years serving for that country. But Australia at the same time is like, it's where I grew up. It's where I call home as well. Shit, see, like, I'm doing it, like, where do I call home? And I'm pretty sure all you third culture kids out there would agree, right? Give me a thumbs up, give this video a thumbs up if you agree that you can't say which country you like better, because both of them are awesome. Last but not least, it could be a struggle, it could be the total opposite of a struggle, but as a third culture kid, you fit in everywhere and you fit in nowhere at the same time. In Singapore, I fit in because I'm Singaporean, I look Singaporean. If I get quiet and I didn't say anything, people will think that I'm just another Singaporean. So I fit in. But once I start talking, you know, people will be like, bruh, you not local, right? Where you come from, huh? When I'm in Australia, obviously I'm not freaking white, but when I open my mouth and I like the way I behave, the way I see things, it's all in an Australian way. I guess all of these struggles that I've mentioned all come down to one thing, and that's the struggle to belong. But hey, at the end of the day, I enjoy being a third culture kid because you do kind of get the best of both worlds. In my case, like, I have a really traditional Eastern background, but I grew up in a really Western society, so it's like two opposites. I get to experience both of that, so that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video talking about third culture kids again. If you can relate to these, if you've had the same struggles as I had, please give this video a big thumbs up and show that I'm not the only one going through all of this. Please remember to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will see you guys next